What's up, everybody? Life's Apprentice. Today's video is going to be flashing a chimney. Now, this chimney has just about everything going on, and if you're new to roofing or you're a homeowner, do-it-yourselfer, this is going to teach you just about everything you possibly need to know about flashings around a chimney, essentially a wall, or just about anywhere. So if you like this video, I want you to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Please subscribe. There's like 79% of you that are watching my videos are not subscribed, and I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers. It's completely free. Just go down, hit the subscribe button. It would really help me out. Now, the chimney flashing already exists, the cut-in chimney flashing. It's in good shape. We spray painted it all black. But the old flashing was leaking, so this is a one-piece flashing going all the way around, so we're going to leave it in. We have our paper underneath it, and then we're going to add new flashing behind this portion right here. So it's a big chimney, and we're going to show you there's some goofy stuff going on here. So we're going to show you how to do it, and one of the goofiest spots and where it was leaking before is right back here. And we will show you how we're going to do this. So the first thing, we have our shingles run up. We don't need step flashing here or here yet. We will need it from here up. Here's just going to be a basic wall flashing we have, and we're just going to install this guy. Step number one. It's kind of a goofy chimney, but it's going to show you a lot of I guess different ways to do a chimney flashing, because this chimney has just about everything on it that you could imagine in a chimney flashing. So we're going to slip this piece under here, hopefully. And we're going to run this right tight to this corner. You can put a tab here, but the way I do it, it's not necessary. So the other thing you can see here is this flashing is going to go up underneath this shingle, and I'll show you why in just a second. But we're going to get this in and put a couple of nails in it. There's really no way around it putting nails in it. You're going to kind of just have to do that. And this is actually going to stay exposed. You don't have to keep it exposed. You can put a strip of shingle to cover this up, but we're not going to do that for this spot. I'm going to put that nail right there. That's going to be hidden. Now, the next thing, we don't have brown shingle tins, which is fine. You will see some of this. Odds are we'll end up painting it, so it all looks the same. But I'm going to run a shingle tin here. It's going to go up over the top of this and this shingle. And put a nail in it. Then we're going to start running our courses up this wall. We're just going to have a normal 6-inch offset, and every shingle course, I always bend these a little bit like this so they hug tight, but every course is going to have a shingle tin on it, and then your shingle tin is going to go just above this reveal right here. See, We've ripped so much silicone and tar off this chimney, and whoever did it and tried to repair it, this is completely unnecessary on a chimney. You should never really have to use caulk. It's all flashing. There's no caulk or tar involved. Only caulk or tar we're going to use is to cover up these exposed nails, but that's purely for aesthetics. This is completely unnecessary. And basically I'll show you when we're done, but we're just going to continue that up to the peak. Our 6-inch offsets, and we have a shingle tin in between every single course. You can see every single one. Now there will be one more up at the peak, but I'm not going to show you that just yet. I'll show you that when I get the other side up. So that's essentially it for this side. And you can see how that looks. Kind of multicolored here, but we're going to end up painting it, so it'll look better. But this is reusing the old flashing. Now we're going to start on this side, and this is also going to be step flashing all the way up. So we're going to have to do a little cutting on this flashing right here, but we're going to run this up essentially just the same. I'll show you. Well, we're on the other side. We're going to do step flashing here, but this first piece is going to be a little bit different than the other ones I showed you. Because this course goes past this, you have to put a tin here. Very, very important. I see people miss this on walls, the first one, or they don't add the shingle tin where their starter is. But essentially we got to look at this like a starter shingle. We're going to have to add a tin here. So one thing I do, and I'm going to cut this on an angle. You can see the angle here. I'm going to cut this on a slight angle like that. Now this piece is going to go under here. Again, more unnecessary garbage. We see this all the time when people are trying to repair a chimney. It does not work. Never has, and it never will. So this is going to go up underneath here. And one thing I always do, hop on this side, Dakota. One thing I always do is, you can see how I cut this angle like that. I'm always going to run it past this corner. We don't want to run it like this, because then you have the opportunity of getting water into this corner. So we're going to run this past. So when water's in here, it has room to get out. I'm going to nail that. We're going to add our next course right here. And this is going to ensure that water can't get in there. Now, this is also one of those spots where you might want to add a little bit of caulk right here, just because I didn't bend a tab on this. But just for safety's sake, you might want to add a little bit there, and then we can add a screw to hold all this together. But essentially, water is going to travel down this, and it's not going to be able to get into that corner. So I always run mine just a little bit long like that. Now, this shingle tin did not end up on the reveal, which is fine. But from here on out, they do need to end up on this reveal. We're just going to continue this up. Just like that. Go all the way up this side. I have all my pieces pre-cut here, and I'm just going to run these tins all the way up to the top. You don't necessarily have to put nails in these tins. I always do, but I don't think you really have to. this is also going to be a pretty important pin. We're going to want to cut it down. I'm just following that angle, and I'm going to leave a tab on it like that. You can see how that is. I don't know how well you guys can see, but we're down to our reveal right here, and this is following that, and then I folded this tab across. So we're gonna just get a nail in this now. Oh, of course I don't have nails. They always run out at the most inopportune times. Just put one nail in it for now. We're gonna start on this side. You can see I have my shingles ran up like normal. We have no flashing on yet. That's going to be a cut. We want this first tin. We want this first tin to be even with this corner. So you can see I'm even with the corner here. I'm going to get a nail in. And we're going to continue our ladder up.
Hey, how straight are these papers?
Pretty straight. So you can see that this is all covered up now. And we're just going to add these tins as we go, as normal. And now my smaller tins will work. We're going to run that basically all the way to the top. I'll show you what I do on this corner. It's going to be the same as I did on the other corner over there. This is where I'm going to get a little tricky. And any roofers out there that are watching this might have noticed what I did here. And I would consider this wrong for now. But I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do to fix it. I'm going to need some taller tins. So. Grab another one. It's weird how this side's like that. The other side is not. This is just a really tricky spot. We have valley metal under here, tar paper under the old flashing, and then the flashing is coming over the valley. But this flashing is more or less still there just because we can't get it out effectively. So this is going to be your trouble spot right here. Always going to be your trouble spot. So this tin, the first tin that I put in, is basically a fake tin. I'm going to add another one on this side, and I'll show you that in 1 second here. You see how I cut that? It's going to allow me to bend a tab around. We're going to fold that down like that. This is going to go under here. It's kind of tricky. Shingles are burning my legs. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. Obviously you can. So my tab's behind there. This is ran just a little bit past, so this corner is still kind of open. But what we're going to do is we're going to slip another tin in here. This is going to help prevent this from moving. I'm going to put a nail in there. And basically what I'm doing is just a double tab here as a protective barrier. Okay, so this is our real tin here, and we're going to add actually one more right here. I have to cut it. So we have 4 tins in on this corner. Now, if water gets in here, we have a double tin with a double tab, and we have double tin, double tab here. So no matter which way that water goes, it's not going to get underneath. If you only do one tin here, I think you're going to have problems. So that's that. Now we're going to continue as normal. This is just a tricky chimney. That's why I wanted to show it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily tricky, it's just odd. We're going to run out some more courses. I'll show you what I do up at the peak, but we're basically going to continue that up to the peak here where I left off yesterday. So we have our courses and shingle tins on every course, ran all the way up. Now what we're going to do is both turned out, we need to finish off this peak. So we're going to hold it at the reveal right there. I'm just going to take a snip and I'm going to cut in to the peak like that. Now there's not going to be another course of shingles going over this. It's going to be ridge. So your ridge is actually going to cover this up. So we're going to put this in just like normal. Nail it. Nail it. We're going to do basically the same thing on this side. Mark it there. Nail it. Nail it. Now our ridge is going to cover that up, but you are going to want, because there is a potential for a little pinhole right here, this is one of those spots where you will, I mean, it's not going to leak in general if you don't, but this is one of those spots you're going to want to put a little bit of caulk, but it won't be exposed. You'll put this caulk on here right before you put the ridge shingle over the top. And it won't be exposed, nobody will see it, and it's just going to be a tiny bit. You don't need 5 gallons. So I'll go over to this side. We got this side done, and it actually worked out pretty good to where my tin ended up right here, which is basically where we want it. We're going to take a snip and cut that just a little bit. I'm just going to cut this corner back just a little bit. See, I barely cut it. But it's going to depend on how this lands. Some are going to land a little different than others. And then we got our back piece, which we haven't really showed you yet. But this is going to go on this entire back. And what I'm going to do, you'll be able to see this in a minute. but we're gonna leave this long. So you see how I left this long? That's to keep water away from this corner. You don't want water getting into that corner. So I'm gonna leave this a little bit long, and this is gonna slide up underneath there in a minute, but I gotta do the same on the other side. See how I did that? Same on both sides, so when water gets in here, it's not going to get into that corner. And then, I want to, I think we should probably slide it in. Hey Travis, you want to give me a hand for a sec? Because this is a big chimney. If it was a smaller piece, it'd be easier to do by yourself. But we're going to pull this back and slide it in. I might be good, honestly. Okay, let's just get this other side. There's a tab on this piece right here that we need to get behind, and we did. That was actually pretty easy by myself. So you can see the corner here, another spot you might want to put some caulk, but if you leave this part short right here, water will definitely get in there. I always try to leave it a little bit long on every chimney, just so you don't have that pinhole right there. So water's going to get in along this back and travel either way. I'm not going to pitch this because it's a solid piece. You can see here, same thing. I'm going to leave it a little long. I may end up trimming this. This is like 2 inches long, 3 inches long. I may end up trimming it, but my ridge is going to go and cover a lot of this up. But we always want to leave this long just a little bit, even if it's an 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch.
Trying to see the bird.
So now we made this custom so that it covers this reveal, and it's basically the same length as a ridge cap. So what we're going to do is we're going to nail it. That's basically it. That's the proper way to do it. This is kind of a goofy chimney. You're not going to see this, but a lot of the same things that I did on this chimney are going to work on any other chimney. This one kind of has it all. Well, that's essentially it. That is how you flash a chimney. This thing had a lot going on, and hopefully I can teach some people out there some of the tips and tricks that we use almost on a daily basis. This was not a typical chimney, and there's definitely some tips and tricks to be learned here. So if you like it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.